Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mini Terrain Domain. My name is Jeremy. I have a YouTube channel called the Erasmus Expeditions, but I am here as a part of the charity stream weekend, benefiting Game to Grow, a fantastic charity that you just heard from. Yeah, if you can, give, because it's a fantastic organization full of very helpful and friendly people who also just happen to be gamers, which is incredible. I'm really excited to be here and very proud to have been asked to be a part of this. So today we are going to be playing a game that I designed myself called the Expedition Engine. This version is called Black Hearts on Blue Seas, and it is meant for playing all kinds of piratical adventures. So that's what we're going to be doing today with the Fisherman's Fog. But before we get started, I just want to toss out there that we are going to let the audience name the ship today that we will be sailing on. So start tossing your entries out there, your votes out there, and whatever gains traction, that's what we're going to go with. And we'll probably grab the runner-up too, just in case we might need it later. I'm going to go ahead and give a little bit of a warning. This is supposed to be a PG-13 game. I'm going to do my best to keep myself in check, but you've been warned. This is one of my games, and well, we're playing pirates. So I'm going to pass things over to my players so that they can introduce themselves, and then we're going to get things started. So first up, let's go with Lloyd.
Hello, I'm Lloyd. I'm JarlDM on most of the social stuff, and this is awesome. I've been working in the overlays and stuff for this, and been working behind the scenes for this, and it's very satisfying to see it all come together and raise so much money. It's pretty great. And yeah, I'm super excited to play in this game. If you want to donate like 200 and something, I'll run you a game where you can all be goblins in mech suits. That should be out there somewhere, so if somebody feels like doing that to get us over the line, so we can save Dwight's beard, that would be awesome. And yeah, super happy to, whenever possible, play a game with Jeremy. And I love this little pirate game so much.
Thank you, Lloyd. I appreciate that, man. Moving right along, we have Kaeryn next.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kaeryn, also known as MythNGears on the socials. I don't have anything exciting to say like Lloyd just did about goblins and mech suits, and I want to be in that. I just cannot wait to be a pirate in this game. This is going to be so much fun, and yeah, this is a great charity game to grow. Please give. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Kaeryn. Next up is Cari.
Hello, I am Cari. When I'm not here playing with Jeremy for a great cause, I am on Mini Terrain Domain on Monday nights. I play Candlekeep Mysteries, Scribes and Scrolls. It is a hoot and a half. You can find me a couple times a month on another channel called Dice Tales Live, and once in a while on Big Bearded Nerd. So all good things. I'm super honored to be here, and hashtag save the beard. Let's go.
Fantastic. Last but certainly not least, my very first chance to run a game for you, Prince.
Hey everybody, I'm Prince, also known as DimplesNDice around the internet. That's where you can find me. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz. I am a variety streamer. I GM games of my own. I am on several different channels, Amphitheater, Waffles Maple Syrup. My sister station is Rolling These 20s, where I run Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition over there as a storyteller. I'm very busy. I'm doing a lot of stuff. Follow me on Twitter to see all the things I'm up to. But I'm here today, and I'm hyped to be here. Let's get those donations rolling.
Here. Yeah, man, I'm super excited. Okay, so to partially illustrate just how simple and fast this can be, we are going to go ahead and put together our characters here on stream. So I know a few of you have kind of taken a little bit of a sneak peek at the rules already, which is perfectly fine. Go ahead and introduce kind of who you might be thinking about playing, what role and style you chose, what numbers that you have chosen to represent your character, maybe what your character's goal is. And while we're waiting for suggestions for the ship's name to keep rolling in, we'll also determine a few things about that ship all together as a group.
I'll go. I'm thinking of playing Clean Shoes Atherton, who is a rich boy and who thought it would be very romantic to go and be a pirate. who like grew up very wealthy, learned how to fence and how to fight shining duels and stuff, but is not prepared for the rough and tumble life of an actual pirate. That's what I'm thinking. So that would make him a dashing swashbuckler. And then I'm thinking I want to get revenge. I don't know specifically on who yet, but it's always good to have some motivation. So I think get revenge is where I'm going.
Excellent, excellent. Who's next?
Well, I plan to play Pegless Leg Pete, who is going to be a salty cook. Partly because he's pegless and doesn't like that, being a cook. And his goal for this game is going to be to live to see another day, because he has seen a lot of stuff go horribly wrong in his many years at sea and just wants to wake up to see the sunrise another time.
Awesome.
Excellent, excellent. Who's next?
I am ready to go. I'm going to be playing Quick Hand Jenny today. Quick Hand Jenny is 15 years old. She was a stowaway on this ship, got caught at only 9. But because she's itty bitty and very fast and nimble and dexterous, they put her to work on the rigging crew. She was very good at it. So now, although kind of informally, she kind of is in charge of anything on the ship that involves a rope. So that's kind of her claim to fame. And she also, if she's feeling mischievous, sometimes just can't help herself, but sticky finger some stuff from her crewmates. And that is Jenny.
Fantastic.
That
All right.
leaves me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm playing Big Body Bastion, and he's called that for a reason. He's a very large fellow. He is about 7 feet tall, weighing in at about 450 pounds of just man.
Yes. Amazing.
Just 450 pounds of man. And my role I picked for him, rolled for him, he ended up being an officer. He really doesn't want to be an officer. He doesn't want the captain giving him orders to do things. He'd rather be like a rigging rat or something else where he doesn't have to do a bunch of things like taking orders. But here he is carrying out the logistics, and he's quite dexterous as it happens.
Oh my
Excellent,
God.
excellent. This is a great crew already. I'm very much looking forward to some of this interaction. Okay, so it sounds like we don't have a dedicated captain amongst the PCs here. So that sounds like maybe that falls onto an NPC. I think we're going to go ahead then and run with Cold Colin Peppermill. Is the captain of your ship. We have a couple of suggestions rolling in for ship names. We'll let those keep coming along as we move right into creating the ship itself. So as a group, we're going to need to pick 2 strengths for this ship: fast, nimble, heavy gun, strong hull, light in the water, large crew, or captain earns their loyalty. Any 2 of those sound good to anybody? They want to toss them out there?
I think captain earns their loyalty lends to the RP that I know this group loves.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my vote.
Captain's a good dude.
It's a democracy.
What if the captain's terrible?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What if they're the worst? You know, because then it could work towards some sort of mutiny.
You can't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
You're not my dad.
Who made him captain anyway?
Phenomenal.
Excellent.
Ask
excellent.
everybody on the boat, do you want to be captain? No.
So he's all we got.
We all stepped back and he was the only one left there.
Because he wasn't
I've
listening.
DM'd a few games. I've DM'd a few games because of that reason.
Right?
Yes,
Who wants to run this? Not me.
That's
God, it was
perfect.
the last one.
So Jeremy, you can get into character.
That's fair. That's fair. All right.
I find it hard to
strengths,
turn
though.
down heavy gun. It's hard to turn that down
Yep.
because it doesn't say good quality, just heavy, right? So I'm just
Just
thinking
heavy.
we have this one like mortar from like this obscene one gun.
It
ship.
makes the ship tilt like
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit when we bring it out. Yes, amazing. I'm in for that.
Perfect.
I second.
Okay. Heavy gun. It sounds like that's one of them. Yeah.
I mean, we
Mhm.
could do heavy gun. I'm not against it. I'm flexible here.
Yes,
All right. So that's one.
cool.
We see a second one. We've got fast, nimble, strong hull, light in the water, large crew.
I think if we're gonna
Uh,
go one, yeah. You pick.
Well, I think if we're gonna have a heavy gun, that probably means we need to have either speed or a strong hull.
Just gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
Got to
Same
be one or
page.
the other there.
Okay.
Shall we roll for it?
Sure.
Okay. Even is strong hull. Odd is fast. How about
Cool.
Okay.
what did I say? Even was strong hull.
Strong hull.
Strong hull. All
I
right.
forgot. I got so excited.
Perfect.
So we have this lumbering ship that like has one big gun, is very heavy.
But once the sails are up, she's fast.
There you go. And then we also need to pick one problem for the ship. Slow to turn, small cargo hold, an old vessel, or seen better days.
Boy.
Slow to
Hmm.
turn.
I think slow to turn just fits.
Yep.
I would
Yeah.
agree.
Yep.
I would agree. All right.
Like imagine like bring her around, and then there's like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We don't actually
Slowly.
bring this. We don't bring the ship around. We just move the heavy
Yeah.
gun.
The Earth just rotates and we stay in the same place.
Who needs a rudder when you have the gun?
When you have Bertha. All right. So it sounds like we have our ship kind of detailed out a little bit. We're going to kind of take a look at what all we have as far as suggested names. We have the Flying Danishman. We have the Sea Slicer. We have the Dwight, the the Oreo Machine, and the Oops.
The oops.
The oops, yeah.
The oops.
That's fantastic.
I could go and
Yeah.
get on board with any of those, but I'm leaning towards either the oops or the Dwight.
Yeah, those seem to be the two front runners. Anybody else have any strong feelings about it?
I like the idea that maybe oops is like a what do you call it?
Oops.
Where like each letter stands for a thing. I've lost the word. of
Oh
that.
yeah,
an acronym.
Anagram.
Anagram.
That's
Acronym.
No,
one of those words.
Yeah.
with an
Anagram
A,
is backwards, right?
Yes. What?
something
Yeah.
like
I think
that.
it's anagram. I don't
man.
know. English.
Anyway, like all the letters in oops
Like
stand for
somebody was a
something.
teacher.
You know?
It is an
Yeah.
acronym, by the way. It just took me a second.
There you go.
An
Okay,
anagram is where you scramble up the letters, then it's a
Yeah.
different word.
There you go.
So.
All right. So it sounds like maybe we could even go with Dwight's Oops.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Small
All right.
accident
You
there.
are all the crew of the HMS Dwight's Oops.
Awesome.
All right. And we're gonna take, I think, we're gonna take the Flying Danishman as our backup there.
Phenomenal.
All right. So I think that covers everything.
Awesome.
So I think we're ready to start. Y'all ready?
Yay.
Excellent. Let's go. Okay. Can you paid for a Boston, or not Boston, a Brooklyn, New York accent? So you're welcome, and I'm sorry. The captain's obsession with finding the fabled island known as Imbricata had led to a long journey fraught with disappointment and not much treasure to show for it. It had now been 2 days since you'd left Port Royal, having finally learned a clue that could lead you to the location of the legendary locale. As members of the HMS Dwight's Oops, the crew gathers around once more to hear the riddle. The tension in the air was more palpable than the salty spray of the sea. When summer wanes its final days, turn your bow towards sunset rays to find where moonfire makes its bed and the fisherman's fog clouds your head. if you hold fast when your vessel pitches, through the veil lies Imbricata and her riches. So if each of you please would describe who we see gathered around the reading of this riddle, and what job you will each be returning to as the sun finally sets on the sea and darkness is soon going to overtake everything.
I would imagine Jenny might be the one reading this. She's reading it very slowly because she can kind of just barely read. But she is reading through this very slowly, kind of stumbling over some words. And then she kind of stands back and she's like, what the hell does that mean?
And I think like over everybody just kind of looking down so he can read it. He's like, Bastion, big, bald, bandana tied around his head, light pink shirt on, pair of nice pants. It's like, well, I think that means we're treasure hunting.
And Jenny's eyes like light up. And she kind of like looks around at the others and she's like, well, I'm not doing anything else today.
Well, yeah, I reckon it's a mystery, eh? Got to figure it out.
Why do all these things have to, I don't know, always be so vague? It's like terrible. Like, can't they just speak regular, like plain old text? Something that we don't have to figure out and like sail the wrong way for 3 days before we find it, we're in an iceberg place. I'm so done with it. And this short, stocky, kind of pot-bellied old man with 2 very good legs and a very dirty apron walks back down as if he's going to back down to the galley where he's going to prepare the food for this group.
I've been asked to do a Monty Python French, and I will do my best. Here we go. Well, I suppose I have some more work to do in the shrouds, so I will be up there. If anybody needs anything, goodbye. And I would, like Assassin's Creed style, grab a rope, kick like a latch, and just go up to the crow's nest. Phenomenal.
All right. And as the reading of this riddle for the 3rd, maybe 4th time kind of transpires, and the crew kind of goes back to the various tasks that they're performing on the ship, maybe not as clear about what lies ahead as they'd like to be, but seemingly content for the moment, knowing that treasure at least lies on the horizon. One of you, if you would please, a volunteer, doesn't matter who. Anyone?
Sure.
I nominate Prince because it's his first time on MTD.
Prince, big body Bastion is hanging out. What is it that you're doing on board the main deck later that night?
Probably taking the wheel as the captain goes and gets some rest and grumbling about it. This is prime reading time, just under a lantern. It's so nice. Instead, I'm standing here in the damp wetness.
You stand there and kind of look out over the ocean, kind of reflecting on how clear of a night it is. You can see the stars themselves kind of reflected in the dark waves of the ocean all around you. It's almost like being in space, just kind of like floating amongst nothing more than a field of stars in every direction. You kind of are lost in your thoughts for a moment, perhaps even kind of dreaming about, being able to finally go back to your bunk and read the book that you have been longing to kind of pick back up. When something catches your attention, you hear a noise kind of off the back of the ship. And as of right now, you're probably one of the only people on deck.
I have to go check it out.
Amazing.
Yes, I have this. You're strong, Bastion. You're strong.
I love him.
And yeah, Bastion will go towards the sound.
Excellent. Okay. Kind of hyping yourself up a little bit, kind of preparing for whatever it is that you could possibly find. You kind of look over the back of where this aft castle is kind of built up, and you see something bobbing in the water. And it takes you a moment, and like you can see the glint of it, of the starlight and the moonlight kind of off of it. And then after just a moment, you realize that it's a glass bottle that seems to be corked and is bobbing in the wake of the ship. And you see a hand kind of retract from the lower deck.
Hello? Hey, did someone drop something?
You very quickly see the window kind of shut and latch.
Okay, then. Hello?
Hearing Bastion raise his voice, which is very rare. Once again, Jenny would down like on a zip line and be like, "What is it?"
You can't just sneak up on me like that.
Sorry,
It's dark.
I did not mean to. I was just in the crow's nest and I heard you yell, and you never yell.
Someone dropped something off the back of the boat.
Well, what is it?
Looks like a bottle.
Is it rum?
No, I don't think anyone on this ship would drop rum.
I agree. And I look and I'm like, how far off the back of the ship is it?
By the time that I think you get down there and kind of make your way over to the gunnel and look over, it's maybe 100 feet or so now, but you can still clearly see like its shape bobbing in the wake of the ship that's kind of starting to now settle back down into still ocean.
100 feet, huh? Okay. And Jenny would kind of crack her knuckles and be like, "Bastion, you are very strong, yes?" She's
Yes.
already tying a rope around her waist. He's like, "Well, you do not want me to die, do you?"
Why are you jumping into the wall? You plan to jump?
And I jump before he can confirm.
And there's a moment of pause
swan dive.
as the rope is just going wing, whining, and he's like, "Oh!" and grabs the rope.
All right. It sounds like we've got our first roll of the game.
Oh god.
All right. So big body Bastion, let's get a roll. This sounds like a speed roll to me. So what number have you assigned to your speed versus control?
Speed versus control was I got a 4.
A 4? Okay, excellent. So you're going to be rolling the dice to see how many successes, how many under 4s you can get. If you hit your number, if you get 4 on any of those, we need to know that as well because it earns you a black spot point that you can use. However, I think that everybody has a black spot due to the donations that have come in. I think every player has one. Yeah. So these black spots, at any point, you can choose to spend one to give a character, any character, -1 die on the next roll that they're going to make.
Ooh.
So keep that in mind as we come up.
I don't like
so
the
let's
sound
get
you
this
made.
Bye.
Ooh.
So we're going to figure out how many dice that you can roll for this check, Bastion. So let's see. You're going to get the automatic 1 that you're going to start with. And then what did you pick for your role? You're an officer?
Yes.
And then what about your style? What did you pick for that?
Style ended up being steely.
Steely. Okay, perfect. So I think that steely would probably qualify you for a second die in this situation. You kind of, even though you were caught kind of unprepared, you know, that's kind of what you're used to, is being unprepared and still being able to act in the face of, you know, that surprise. So I think you definitely qualify for a second die here.
Okay.
So let's roll both of those, and then we'll see how that comes out.
Jeremy, I think he is also trying to roll over if he's rolling for speed, correct? Kaeryn pointed that out.
You're
in the chat. I
right.
think
You're
she's
right. Who wrote this game? No, you're absolutely correct. So yeah,
That
we're looking
was
for
full credit to
over
Kaeryn.
4. Thank you, Kaeryn.
Well, I did not do that. I rolled double 2s.
Oh. Ooh, okay. All right, so that is
This was fun, guys. Thank you so much. Game to grow.
It's been real.
Hashtag.
Yeah, thanks for all the good work.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Thank you.
So if none of your dice succeed, it goes wrong. Okay, so I think it's pretty obvious here. You kind of reach down and grab a hold of the rope, and you realize only too late that you grabbed the wrong coil of rope. And you kind of look over just as the end of the rope that's tied to Jenny goes kind of off the end of the boat.
Could I so Clean Shoes is trying to get his beauty sleep, which is very important to him, but the thundering footsteps of Bastian on the top deck with each rumbling step that he takes have been keeping him awake, and he was just about to sleep when he heard as Jenny hit the deck, and he's just about to get up and give out to them, and then he like sees like a rope outside his window going by, and he's like, huh, how curious. And he'll like undo the window and like open it out and like look up, and maybe he'll see like the rope is comically long. It just keeps going somehow. And maybe I could try and grab it.
Ooh,
Yeah, absolutely.
amazing.
So I think this is definitely a situation where you're not prepared.
No.
I don't think that this would be something that would be usual. Let's see. What is your style and role?
My style is dashing, and my role is
Dashing,
swashbuckler. So
Okay.
neither of those apply, I think. In this
I don't
case.
know.
Maybe
Jumping out a
dashing.
window? That sounds like
Yeah.
a pretty swashbucklery thing.
Oh
to me.
yeah. Mhm.
Swashbucklers have good reflexes.
Yeah, exactly. So I
Maybe.
think this is probably another 2 dice
Hopefully.
situation. What do you have in speed versus control?
I have a 4.
Okay, same story then.
Yeah. So I rolled 2d10s, is that right?
Yes, correct.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's go. A 9 and an 8. Is that
Okay.
good or bad? Before I celebrate,
No,
is
that's
that good
great.
or
That's
bad?
good.
Okay, yes.
That's very good. That's 2 successes, which means you do it well. So you kind of throw yourself halfway out this window and grab a hold of this rope, just as the end of it kind of like off the top of the ship, and it nearly yanks you out of the window as well. But you manage to kind of keep a hold and kind of wedge your body kind of in this window frame. And now you have the end of the rope that's connected to Jenny.
I like to think that Clean Shoes like is wealthy and from an old family, and he's paid for his own cabin on the ship. And so he has like a bed and like a window and whatever. But there's nobody in here to help him. So he's like holding the rope and like is now shouting, "Help! Hello! Anyone! Help! Bastian!" Like shouting for anyone to come and help him. As he's like he's like got like both legs against the windowsill and like pulling this way, but he's like almost going at it.
Oh, jeez.
There is a
I
little bit of
think I
slack
am
in the rope.
Yep. Okay. Carrie, let's get a roll from Jenny here.
Okay.
So you're swimming.
Yep, I'm swimming. So what kind of roll? Well, I need to know what to
Yeah.
hope for, so I know what to tell my dice to do.
Let's see. Well, I mean, this could go a number of ways. You described
Yeah.
the perfect swan dive that you did off of the back of the ship. So I would
did.
say that even Flair could probably qualify here.
Okay.
Or it could even be Grace.
If you're letting me
or-
pick, I would like to go with
Yeah.
Grace.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
All right.
Most of these are open to interpretation. So you just kind of give me the pitch as to kind of what you were angling for, and that's what
Mhm.
we'll use.
And I chose Sly Rigging Rat. So is that going
Sly
to be
Rigging Rat, okay.
2d10, you
Well,
think?
Yeah, we're dealing with ropes here. I don't think this is the first time that Jenny has probably tied herself off on the end of a rope and done something
Right.
reckless.
She's little and hopefully easy to pull in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this will probably be 2 dice.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't think this was a prepared action. So
No.
I think just
nope.
2 dice.
There we go.
What did you have in grace versus force?
2, and I succeeded
Okay.
twice. I got a 4 and a 5.
Excellent. All right, so that's 2 more successes. So you dive in and very quickly swim to where this bottle is kind of just bobbing up and down in the waves of the ocean, and you manage to grab a hold of it just about the time that the slack kind of in the rope tenses up, and now you're kind of being dragged almost like a barefoot skier, kind of like behind this boat.
I imagine just as Jenny like has like a hand on the neck of the bottle, it's like, and then she like literally gets like pulled up out of the water a little bit and then starts swimming back towards the ship, giving the rope a tug for what she assumes is Bastion on the other end of the rope.
So I think Pete, I mean, he's still up. He's, preparing the breakfast meal already. And he hears Atherton's cry for help. Oh, what is that guy doing? He's always getting into trouble. And will come bursting into your room. Just fling the door wide open, slam it, who cares? Sees you hanging out the window with your clean shoes, just kind of gripping the ledge, and will bowl his way over and roughly pull on your legs to pull you back in.
My pegless servant, quickly, help me. He's like pulling on the rope.
Do you want me to let go?
No, I'm commanding you to help.
I'm not your servant. Ah. And then with that, he'll pull even harder. We're not gentle at all with this.
Oh, hello.
Oh, it looks like they're doing okay. Okay.
Okay. Sacre bleu.
He just kind of waters back to the helm and takes the wheels.
Yep. As Jenny gets closer back to the ship, she does notice that the rope is not going up and over the rail, but rather in a window. And she's kind of doing like some calculations, like where is this window on the ship and whose room might this be? She's not exactly sure. And then because she is 100% stolen from Atherton something, money, food, maybe both. And she's like, I know that window. And I just am trying to come up with an excuse for this reckless act as I'm getting hoisted up out of the water.
She like comes in through your window, Atherton like sogging wet, just like all
The carpet.
over that
And he like
area.
rushes and rolls up the very expensive carpet
And I
that
would
he
be
brought
just
with
like
him.
shagging out my hair, like, and then like wringing out my shirt and like, well, I owe you thanks, Atherton.
Jennifer, if you don't mind, out of the room. Very expensive.
Of course, my friend, of course. And I would shake his hand way too overzealously and
Flinging water everywhere.
yeah, yep. And I just have the bottle in my hand and I'm just kind of like looking it over. And I want to go back up and talk to Bastion.
Yeah, Atherton will like clean up or like wipe up what he can really quickly, and then he'll look to his servant, Pegless Pete, and say, "We should investigate, perhaps."
He just grumbles as he walks out the door. It was not just him that did it. I was part of it too. And he leaves grumbling.
Of course,
Obscenities.
thank you, Peter.
You shouldn't thank the help.
Peter is not help. If this was rum, Peter would be able to put it to good use, disinfecting and whatnot. But it is not. And I am like clunk, 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 clunk up the stairs, and I see Bastion. Bastion, hello.
Hi. Sorry. You jumped so fast, I wasn't ready.
Rest assured, my friend, there is no ill will. It was an adventure. Life is a grand adventure, always. If I die, I die.
That is an interesting way to live. I don't know if I'd do that, but sure.
And then I am like, well, here is your bottle.
My bottle.
You were the ones that spotted it, and I like just like push it into his chest.
Well, it came from someone on the ship.
Well,
Perhaps
I am
it is a
very
secret.
tired. Perhaps it
Okay.
is.
Should I open it?
Yes.
I don't know if I should open this. It seems like it might be someone's secret.
Adventure. Bastian, adventure. Taking chances. Open the
Could
button,
be some
Bastian.
great mystery.
Oh, I do love a good mystery.
Could be just a letter for somebody at home.
All right.
In
all
which
right,
case, we throw it back.
Squeak it, squeak it, squeak it, squeak it.
Nice.
You open this bottle, and at first you think it might be empty, but when you kind of turn it over and give it a good shake, you can see that it's dry. There's nothing, no liquid remaining inside of it, but a very small piece of paper comes out, like it's been torn from a fuller sheet, and very poorly written upon it, you see the last line of the riddle that you had just read earlier that day. Through the veil lies Imbricata and her riches. And it says, "We are ready."
We are ready. We are ready? Ready for what?
Well, that sure is a mystery, you betcha. Can I see that piece of paper real quick then?
Yes, here.
In case it was not clear, I have now switched to a Youper accent. Thank you to whoever
Jennifer,
donated. Oh, is it
your
still
hands
there?
are wet. And Atherton will like pull out a handkerchief from his pocket and quickly dry your hands before you touch the crumbling paper.
Never like a germaphobe. Here, let me see the paper. And I look and I'm like, yeah, this is part of that riddle we read earlier then, eh? But then this isn't. I think somebody is trying to get a message to somebody that's not on the ship.
So you just drop it in the water and hope for the best?
Perhaps they are following us. He'll like look into the distance, like he thinks it's going to look cool, into the wind.
The dramatic.
Exactly.
And slowly in the frame, the rest kind of come up behind him and are just like, oh, yeah. Yeah, sure could be. Well, what are we going to do about it?
Some kind of a conspiracy, perhaps. There is something dark happening upon this ship, I am certain.
No, nothing dark. Everything's fine. We're good.
Perhaps there is a traitor in our midst. Perhaps now is the time for the mutiny.
Oh, yeah.
Don't say
Because
the
what
M
if it
word.
was the captain? Is it his handwriting?
Oh,
Actually, would I know that?
that's a good. You might.
As an
That's a
officer,
smart
you might.
dude. Yeah. You've seen documents.
So let's get another roll. I think
Yes,
this is
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be.
Yeah.
I think this will probably be a knowledge roll, but I could be open for other interpretations.
No, I like the knowledge thing. I think that makes sense.
Okay.
Right.
Like I said, being an officer, I definitely think that would qualify you for the expert die. So you have 2.
Cool.
Prepared? I think you might even be prepared in this situation. I think looking at documents is probably something that falls under Bastion's, purview sometimes. So take a third die.
Excellent. And I have 3 on knowledge.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Well, I rolled a 1, a 3, and a 4.
And what would you say your number was?
3.
Okay. So you earn a black spot point with that 3. And then you have 1 success. So let's see. If 1 die succeeds, you barely manage it. There is a complication, harm, or cost. Let's see.
Well,
Okay,
am I
so
supposed to roll over it?
yes.
Then I would have had 2 successes because one was a 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said 1, 3, and 5.
No.
I'm sorry. Okay, so then you had 2 successes, which means you succeed and do it well. So yeah, you are fairly certain that you have seen this handwriting before. You think it might belong to the quartermaster.
Ooh. Well, who wrote the note?
I believe it was the quartermaster.
That scurvy dog.
Well, that son of a gun. Should we go take it to him right now? Ooh, I have an idea. How about we write a note that misleads him and put it back in the bottle and chuck it back in the ocean?
It's very clever.
I'm full of good ideas.
Well,
Do you think you could forge the quartermaster's handwriting, Bastian?
that's it would be a betrayal. I copying someone else's work.
Plagiarism.
It would be stealing.
You are right. We shouldn't.
Okay.
But I could.
Jeez.
But if you do it, that's a you thing. I don't know anything.
You are not
Bastian's
involved.
a gentle soul. It's not fair for us to ask him to do this. But if
You're
you
right.
wanted to.
I didn't go to university for nothing. And he'll roll up his sleeves.
Okay. Let's see.
So,
what is forgery?
What did they write at the end? We're on our way?
We are ready.
You're ready.
We're ready. Okay.
All right. Let's see. Forgery. So I think either subtlety, or perhaps instinct, maybe control.
Knowledge?
Could that work?
Yeah, I see
I
what
mean,
you're saying.
theoretically, yeah.
Okay,
If you studied handwriting, perhaps.
Well, he's just like very lettered, I guess. He's like educated.
Calligraphy.
But he's not an expert in forgery or anything. He has all flair, no subtlety, so that's not something he's going to be good at.
Okay.
Let's try instinct, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you have in knowledge versus instinct?
I have a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've already discussed that he is not a forgery expert, so I don't think he's
No.
going to qualify for that die. But as we've stated, you are, studied and things of that nature. So I think you can qualify for 1 extra die as far as preparedness
Okay.
goes.
You say that to the Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Yeah.
I don't know if Jake just came through on the stream.
I don't know if he did either.
That's very funny.
But maybe there's now a T-Rex in this game.
That's fantastic.
Okay, I rolled a 5 and a 3, so that's 1 success. I think, right? I have to roll over if it's instinct?
No. For instinct,
under?
wait. Yeah, instinct you want under.
Under. Okay, so then I didn't get any successes.
Okay, but you did roll your number, right?
I rolled my number, yeah, which is 3.
Okay. Yeah, so you score a black spot point, but there are no successes. So you write this out on this piece of paper, and you think maybe it could pass, maybe. Any of the rest of you that look at this, it's very, very clear that the handwriting is nowhere near the same.
So maybe it's like the quartermaster has very utilitarian handwriting. He has probably a shorthand and a very specific whatever. But then Atherton gets his hands on a quill, and it's like unbelievably ornate calligraphy. And then he looks at it and thinks, perfect. No one will know the difference.
Well, I trust you.
Nope, no one will know the difference.
I'm glad we all agree. Pegless Servant, what do you think?
No soup for you.
Well played. Well played.
Amazing.
He like chuckles, like this is a banterous thing we have. He thinks it's like all in good fun, even though Pegglesby probably hates him. He thinks it's like a joke they have. And he'll say, excellent. And then he'll like roll it back up carefully and like put it back in the bottle. He'll have written something like, he'll have added what he thinks is like a cryptic clue to tell them to go in a different direction. He'll like add a line to the rhyme or whatever. Something like that. He's clever enough to think of that. He just has definitely not the same handwriting. Yeah, so he'll put it in some fake direction or whatever and then put it back in the bottle and then fling it overboard.
All right. Well, I think if we're done here, I'm going to find a hammock and get some shut-eye.
Seems fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is there anything anyone else wants to do over the course of this evening before morning dawns?
No, I think, sorry, you go.
No, I didn't have a full thought. So go for it.
Yeah, Athelin will just go and clean up his room, wipe up all the seawater from the expensive Persian rug that he has in his quarters, everything like that. Make sure everything's in good shape, and then he'll get into his comfy cotton sheets and go to sleep.
Amazing.
All right. Did you have anything that you wanted to add,
No.
Prince? No? Okay, that's fair.
Nope.
That's
I
fair.
thought I had something, and then it was like,
No. No
Gone.
pressure at all. All right. So the next morning, this might work. Actually, no, let's just do a volunteer situation again. Just anybody. No?
I'll go.
Okay, Lloyd. I saw Lloyd's hand. So Atherton, at some point, you're up on the main deck the next morning, and you do, in fact, spy a ship following you that seems to be on the horizon and is steadily gaining on you.
Yeah, it's he pulls out this like unbelievably long spyglass that like keeps unfolding. And he has like a little like a stand that goes on the gunnel, and he steps like 3 feet back to like look through it.
Amazing.
And then he like sees in the distance and says, "Damn!" Or damn. Still Transylvanian, I guess. Curses. And then he doesn't want to alert everyone because he thinks it might be related to the conspiracy that's happening. So he'll look around and see if he can see Pegless Igor, his servant, and if he can't, he'll look around for anyone else who's in our little party. Igor?
I know you are not talking about me.
Come,
And
look at this.
he's sitting there. He's like shelling some fish at this moment, descaling it.
Come look at this. It's important.
Of course it is. And so he walks over with his very two good legs. What?
Yeah, he'll step back from the spyglass. Look.
And it looks like you just kind of confused for a little bit. Oh, and you want me to look through the spyglass. So then he
Yes,
does.
through the spyglass, exactly, yes. Ship. Perhaps the ship that is following us.
Well, it seems to be so.
Well, that is a problem, no?
It's a big sea. They're allowed to be here.
Yes, that is exactly the issue. It is a very large sea. And it should be unusual that we stumble upon a different ship that is following in the same direction that we are.
Well,
Do you see?
maybe they're just going the same place we are.
Yes, but we don't want them to go to the same place we are. We're going to find secret treasure.
Oh, we don't even know where it is yet.
But we have the mystery. This is why I cannot trust you with anything. And he'll stomp off and throw his long scarf over his shoulder. And
Of course, he has a long scarf.
Oh yeah, you know it. Yep.
Of course, he has a
Yep.
long scarf.
It's the only thing longer than the spyglass.
Yeah, it wraps around his neck like
Wow.
43 times. Like it's,
He can dramatically fling it at
Yeah.
least 20 times a day.
and it'll foom, foom, foom around him 3 times before he goes. And he'll walk in his fancy high-heeled boots and make his way towards if he can find either Jenny or Bastian. Probably not hard to find Bastian since he's an enormous giant, like above all the other people. So he'll go over and tug on Bastian's sleeve. Bastian,
Yes.
there is a ship following us. Yes, exactly. This is what I wanted.
How do you know they're following us?
Oh, well, the ocean is very large, you must understand. And we are in a specific place. And the chances of other ships, they're right behind us and going in the same direction.
So what are we supposed to... Should I tell the captain?
I don't know if we can trust the captain.
Well, then who can we trust?
Only our hearts.
My heart is weak and full of words.
No, Bastian, your heart is strong.
According to you.
And he'll grab the front of Bastian's shirt and pull him down. No, you're strong. You have the heart of an adventurer, of a sailor, of an explorer, of a treasure hunter. And he's shouting now, and I guess people are looking, and he'll say, of a treasure hunter.
Bastian, you feel this little tug on I imagine you wear some kind of belt or strappy leather thing, and you feel like it's barely perceptible to you. But Jenny essentially goes right up your back, and she's standing on your shoulders, and she's looking out the back of the ship, and she's like, "Oh, geez." And she just kind of hops down and just stands there, and she's like, "Well, what are we gonna do?"
If I can't make decisions on this. We have to tell the captain. If they're chasing us and they intend us harm, we must have to shoot them. But I can't shoot without captain's orders.
You're quite right. Maybe we will need to move the gun to the back of the ship. Just in case.
At this
I
point,
think-
Pete is still looking through the spyglass. Bursting barnacles! They're getting closer!
And I go up and I'm like, "Are they chasing us?"
I seem so. Maybe they're trying to beat us to the treasure.
Yeah, I think we should tell the captain. I want to take back my vote. I think we should tell the captain right now, because we could speed up the boat, but not fast enough to outrun those sons of guns. I also think we should get out the gun. And by that, I mean, Bastian, you should get out the gun. You're the only one big enough to move her.
Why does everyone think just because I'm big that I'm very strong or something?
You just seem like a strong guy, are you not? Is this why you never sign up for the arm wrestling competition?
You are the biggest man I have ever seen. You might be the biggest man in the world.
I don't believe that.
Then I
I'm
will
the
move
biggest
the
man
gun.
I've ever seen, though.
I will move the gun, he says, dramatically flinging his scarf.
Yeah, he'll fling the
Right.
scarf and he'll.
He's gonna move the gun in heels.
Yeah. He'll take his diamond cufflinks out of his shirt and roll up the sleeves and crack his knuckles, and then he'll go over with his fancy ass coat and everything, and he'll go over to the enormous gun and just begin.
Oh my God. Amazing.
Yeah, I think it's probably like a smash cut. Fine, I'll do it. To immediately like Atherton like bossing around like 3 or 4 others.
Yeah. You there, Igor?
You there?
All right, each one of you, please roll a single d10.
Oh boy.
Oh boy,
Oh,
I don't know if I'm
jeez.
ready for all of this.
It's a lot
Okay.
of pressure.
Sure is.
2, a 10.
I got an
Okay.
8.
8,
A 7.
7. Okay, so the 10 is going to win out this time. So Atherton, it's as you're kind of trying to position this this cannon that you're finally able to see enough details on the sails and the shape of this ship as it is closing in on you. And you realize that you saw this ship in the harbor at Port Royal. And this is none other than the Flying Danishman.
Oh god.
The Danish. He's like sweating profusely from ordering people around, not from trying to push the cannon. That's beneath him.
Ridiculous.
But he's sweating from ordering people around, and also he's wearing like a 3-piece suit and a coat, and it's in the Caribbean, so it's pretty hot. And he'll make his way over to the rest of them, and he'll say, "The ship, it's the Flying Danishman."
Oh jeez. Those sons of guns are not good for anything but pastries, I'll tell you what. I'm allowed to say it, by the way. I'm Danish. I literally don't do anything else.
I do really want a Danish now.
That
Apple
was in my
Stever would
head.
hit the spot. Oh my god.
They are.
We gotta hurry up or they'll catch us.
I think even if we hurry, that they're still going to catch us.
Yeah.
The Dwight Oops is not a fast ship.
No.
Their wind is faster than ours.
That's not how wind. Never mind.
No. Well, we could fight them. We could get out the gun. I see that. Did you move that all by yourself?
Yes, I did. And he'll like flex an arm.
Wow. Bastian, I guess you were right. I guess you're not the strongest one on the ship.
I that was not a competition I was willing to be a part of, really.
We should, I think, at this stage, perhaps tell the captain.
All right. And I almost, again, you blink and Jenny's gone. She cannot help in this situation, but she's fast. So she runs, zips, and she is gone to find the captain. She's been on
Yeah, you know without any trouble where the captain is. He barely leaves his quarters at the aft of the ship. So when you knock on the door, you can hear his constant murmuring, just and there's no recognition of the fact that you have knocked, which is not unusual.
Hey,
I think-
Captain.
Bastion will come behind you.
Boom,
Boom, boom, boom, boom.
I told you,
Captain.
Igor, he was strong.
Yeah, that'll do the job.
Captain, please.
Hey, Captain! That's a
Combination
not
of
loud.
Bastion's like solid knock and like Jenny's loud booming voice finally like gets his attention. Yes, come in.
We both
There's that
made our
kind
way in.
of yeah, you kind of enter the captain's quarters and there's that kind of like musty, steamy
Yeah.
likeness of a ship's room that is kept shut all the time, and where this man has hardly left this room. There's papers and maps and charts that are just stacked up everywhere in here. Some of them are on the floor, some of them are on his bed. It looks like he might have like rolled some of them partially out of the way to sleep next to them, but did a little more than that. It's very, very clear that he hasn't shaven in many days, and his uniform is completely and totally a shambles, and he is sitting at his desk with yet another chart his compass in hand, kind of like drawing these series of circles in his madness, his desperation.
Captain, this
yes,
room
what is it?
Well, first off, this room is rather moist. You should open a window or something.
Yes, maybe. Perhaps.
There's someone following us, Captain.
He kind of looks behind you.
There's a flying
Here.
Danish
Not
line.
us. It's
You mean here in the water?
Yes. I don't think a ship can follow me on the deck.
He like scratches his
Unless
face.
it's a very
and,
tiny
like,
ship.
hops up
Big
and
tiny
runs to the
ships.
back windows, like flings them open. Oh, I be damned. That's the flying Danishman.
I
I
think
know you
just
can
said
smell the
that.
pastries from here.
How long have they been following us?
I can't tell you exactly. It may have been since last night, but I couldn't see them quite well. I'm also running off a very little sleep, Captain. You need to take the helm a little bit more often.
Oh, forgive me, Bastion. Yes, of course. Please, you may not need to. You may not have time to take a nap before trouble gets here. But, well, afterwards, I promise you can have an extra day off.
It looks
How's
like
that
more
sound?
gunpowder tea for me.
Oh yes, I know how you love it. So
No, I didn't. Never mind, Captain.
Captain, there's something else. If you two are quite
More?
finished. Yeah. So you know how Bastion said they might have been following us as far ago as last night? Yeah.
Aye.
Well, the reason Bastion knows that is because it's kind of a long story, but there was a bottle in the water. It had a note in it. I jumped in. Bastion was supposed to grab me. He didn't, but Atherton did, and that was great. And then they hoisted me up like a dead fish, and I had the bottle in my hand, and we read it, and it was a note. And we think it was maybe from the quartermaster, and it was telling them where we were going so they could follow us and maybe kill us. And that's it.
He kind of stares at you for a long moment, and then he turns to Bastion. What is she talking about?
I think I explained it pretty well.
I didn't know you were going to throw me under the boat. My God.
Nothing you did wrong. We all said we were gonna keep it from the captain.
Keep it. Why would you be keeping something like that from me?
You've been real busy. We didn't want to trouble you. You've been shut up in here for days. We thought it was something important, or maybe you were dead.
I didn't think you were dead, Captain.
I did.
I would have checked on you to see if you were dead. Because I don't want to be captain, and you made me first officer, and that's a lot of responsibility. I don't think I can handle it.
You're fine. Take a deep breath. Head between your knees. He like sits you down to like on the edge of his bed. If he passes out, I can't pick him up. We'll have to get Atherton in here. He's a strong one.
He's very strong. Yeah.
He's out on the deck like, ha ha, ha ha.
pushing his bicep up from behind.
Right. And like a bunch of the sailors are like, ooh. Ah.
Anyway,
Atherton is
Captain.
now Gaston in my head.
No, we are being followed though, Captain, and I think it'd be better if we did something about it sooner rather than later.
I run out the guns. Pull out. Let's go full furl on the sails and see if we can't outrun them. Hopefully we find this island soon.
Okay. I'll relay this to the crew. Full throttle on the sails.
There's like 3 people near Bastion that actually hear him and like start.
They're like,
working
what?
and the rest of the- yeah. What? Did he say what?
Full throttle.
Somebody like turns
kinda-
and like relays them. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
As he's saying it a third time, I would sort of like hit him, not super hard, but in the stomach. So he really like, and like, yells.
Instantly, they all start kind of heading to their chores to help run out the sails and
Just
get
patting.
things moving faster. the gunner starts kind of getting the powder ready and loading cannon. Ahead of you, you can now spot what looks to be a bank of fog. It appears to be glowing and pulsating slightly with a faint blue color.
What in the name of Martha's Vineyard is that? Bastion, you're pretty well read. What's that? I'd say it's just fog, but it's glowing.
Perhaps it's a bioluminescence of a sort.
A bio what?
Little tiny microscopic creatures.
Micro what?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Moonfire, you fools!
I would
It is
run o-
moonfire in the veil.
I want to run over to Pete and would be like, hey, just want to reserve my spot at the front of the line when this goes belly up and we're all dying. If you could just take care of me, I would appreciate it. I talk a big game, but I don't want to die.
I thought you said you want to go to the front of line, which means
Yeah, the front-
you want to
front of the
die
line.
first?
No, I do not want that. No, I want to
You
go to
want
the front
leg
of the line for
gun?
the healing things, if you can heal us. When you're taking care of us in the impending disaster.
You've got me mistaken for the wrong person. I don't heal. I just lop off legs.
Never mind. And I just go and I quickly start pulling the sails. I start shouting orders and at people and telling them which ones need to come up, which is all of them. And then again, Jenny goes up to the crow's nest where she can see better.
Anthony watches her go up to the crow's nest and knows that they're about to enter into some sort of pitching situation based on the riddle. And he looks at her, and then the distance between them. Jenny, hold on to something.
I get up to the crow's nest and I latch onto the part of the mast that's up there. And I just sort of almost sit like crisscross applesauce around it. Like I'm bear hugging this.
Jenny, as you're kind of grabbing a hold of the mast kind of tighter and looking out, you realize that as you're kind of entering the edge of this bank of fog, that almost at the same moment, you start seeing a lot of stuff in the water. And you can see that whatever this is, it seems to be the source of this kind of glowing, pulsating light. It does appear, as Bastion said, to be some form of living creatures that are glowing. It takes a little bit, but from this distance, even after a moment, you can tell that this is just a massive shoal of jellyfish.
Wow. And Jenny is just sort of kind of looking over the edge. And even though Atherton told her to keep a good grip, she's kind of almost hypnotized by this. It's a beautiful, really, sight. And she's kind of standing right at the edge of the crow's nest now, kind of looking over. And she's speechless. You would have heard Jenny kind of squawking, for lack of a better word, orders from the crow's nest down at the guys. But then it kind of just goes silent, and she's just kind of staring at this beauty.
All right. The rest of you have kind of gone to your posts, preparing yourselves for what might be coming next. And in that time, as you've kind of prepared the HMS Dwight scoops for battle, this very slow and lumbering ship. Meanwhile, the Flying Danishman has caught up and is now beginning to turn to starboard to bring you about on broadside.
Is Bertha on the correct side?
Yes. Yeah,
Good.
you'll manage to get her moved into position. Okay. So we are going to move into combat.
Yes.
So each one of you, if you would please, roll me a d10. Those of you who get lower than what I roll will have the chance to go before the enemies. Those that roll afterwards or higher will go afterwards. Okay, we got a 7 and a 6. Ooh, a 1. Okay, excellent.
I got a 2. Me and
A 2.
Bastion,
Okay.
let's go.
So it is indeed going to be Quicken, Jenny, and Bastion who will go before the enemies have the chance to act, and then Atherton and Pete will go afterwards. And between the two of you, you can choose what order you wish to go in.
Oh, I think Bastion's the officer. He'd probably act first. Jenny's still kind of stunned by this sight. It's almost to the point where she doesn't even see the flying Danishman.
It's a question. Are we a bigger boat than them?
Good question.
I think so. With the heavy hull or the strong hull and the heavy gun and slow to turn, I envision the HMS Dwight's Oops to be a pretty big ship.
So even though we can't move necessarily fast, since they're closing into our starboard side, I want to just kind of lean towards them to kind of bully their boat out of the way. That way, if our gun goes off, it's going to do the maximum amount of damage by being so close to them.
Okay, excellent. So you're going to kind of like try to line up broadside to them, get a little closer. Okay. So that sounds like maybe control.
Amazing.
Okay, does control work for you?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Right.
Intimidation could be another one.
Nope, let's go control.
Control?
Perfect. I put 9 on intimidation because Bastion he looks intimidating, but he's totally not.
Yes, amazing.
Okay, so let's see. You are an officer. I don't imagine time at the helm is something that you're unused to. And again, you're steely. I genuinely think that this is a 3 dice situation.
Okay, let's see. So I did a 5 on that. So I have a 7, a 4, and a 1.
And those are all below your number?
The 4 and the 1 are below my number.
Okay, that's 2 successes. Excellent. So you succeed and you do it well. All right. So you managed to bring the HMS Dwight's Oops kind of closer to the flying Danishman, almost kind of standing maybe even like a deck taller than, kind of looming over this tinier ship. And you can see that they have run out their guns just as you have run out yours. Okay, Jenny.
Okay. I am so glad that Prince said I want to move closer because I have a plan. What I would like to do is actually, so like if you've ever played Assassin's Creed 4, which I did in preparation for this game, by the way, the rigging and stuff up above is when 2 ships are pretty close. The rigging is really, really close. Jenny wants to like like out to the end and like see if she can jump over onto the other boat just to see what they're doing and kind of like surveil. And she's so little they probably won't even notice.
Okay, so you're going to attempt to board.
And I would like to use my bonus die on this because this is dangerous.
Ooh, okay, sure, absolutely.
I have 1 bonus. Thank you to whoever donated that. I forgot. Jake, do the honors in the chat, please. Jake or Dwight, I guess. Alrighty, so I will roll. What do you think? Probably.
Yeah, let's see. This could be probably Grace.
I was gonna say I hate to do Grace again because it feels like cheating, but I think it's probably Grace.
I mean,
it's a balance.
That makes
beam.
sense here. Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, here I go.
So you're a rigging rat, so that's 2 dice at least.
Mm-hmm.
And you are, what is your style again?
Sly.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's going to be 3 dice, and then if you want to use your bonus dice, then that'll be 4 dice.
Alrighty, wow. Cool, I will. Alrighty, here I go. That is 3 successes, 1 failure.
Okay, so 3 successes are.
I'm trying to roll above. My Grace is a 2, right? So I'm trying to roll above.
That is correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes.
All right. So yeah, this is a critical success. All right, you get an extra benefit. I think the extra benefit is that you go unseen.
Nice.
You managed to cross between the two ships, and all of them are concentrated down below here on the exchange that's about to happen.
Awesome. So I would
Okay.
I would be like looking down and seeing like how many men they have, how many guns they have. Are they guns as big as Bertha, or are they not? Just kind of gathering information mentally.
Yeah, they definitely have a litany of guns, but they're nowhere near as heavily laden as the Dwight's Oops is.
Okay,
They're a much
good.
lighter ship in general.
Awesome. That's why they caught us. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I've done all I can do. Opa.
Okay. So it is at this moment, as you are preparing for this volley to begin passing back and forth between the ships, that you hear the cling of steel coming from your ship already. Looking about, you realize that there's a number of your crew that have sprung a mutiny in this moment, and they have apparently joined the crew of the Flying Danishman in trying to take the Dwight's Oops. All right.
How dare they take the Dwight's Oops?
So now that the full trap has been sprung, this is the way that we're going to be handling this. There are 4 objectives that I currently have kind of set up for all of you: cannon fire, the enemy ship, musket volley, and mutineers and boarders. Each one of them has a die that is associated with it, that is basically the difficulty of overcoming the obstacle. And each one of them, most of them at least, come with a threat level that they will be applying to your ship and all of you whenever they attack, essentially. So the first of those attacks is going to be cannon fire. So they're going to open with a full barrage from the port side of their ship. So this is going to be a threat level of 4 that is incoming.
Ooh.
So what I need from the 4 of you is for someone to decide if they're going to try to defend, essentially, and how you're going to try to defend. Bastion, I saw one finger pointing towards you. You feel like taking the challenge?
Okay. Yeah, I'm down.
All right. So how do you see Bastion, maybe even positioning of the ship or what have you, how do you see him trying to negate as much of this damage from their cannon as possible?
So if we're relatively close, we have a strong hull. Let's just run into them.
Okay, sure. Absolutely.
It'll be very hard to fire your cannons if I'm literally pushing your cannons back into your ship.
Yeah, I like it. Okay. So this sounds like maybe force, possibly control. Maybe even intimidation. Okay. Okay. Let's go with force. This sounds like kind of a brute, just slam into them kind of situation.
Sure.
You're steely, so I think that qualifies you for a second die.
All right. I got a 7 on force, so.
Ooh, okay. That's pretty good force.
No, not good for me. I got a 3 and a 1.
So you have 7 for grace versus force?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. That means that 3 and 1 are beneath it, which is what you want for force. So that's 2 successes.
Oh, sweet.
Which is great. Okay, so you're going to kind of like spin the wheel or what have you and kind of just like trade some paint with this smaller ship. And what that's going to do is, because you had 2 successes, that's going to take the threat of 4 down to 2. All right. So now we just have to determine where those 2 stress are going to go. So does anybody want to volunteer to take some of that stress, or should we apply it directly to the HMS Dwight's Oops?
When you say stress, do you mean like I'm having some hard times at work, or do you mean I take a bullet to the shoulder? Like what kind of stress?
Life as a pirate, there's really not a big difference between those 2 things.
Yeah.
No. So
I'll do it. I can volunteer.
That is, each point of stress, essentially, that's kind of not dealt with, each point of threat rather that is not dealt with, that's incoming, you're going to have to roll your health die.
Okay.
If you roll a 1 or a 2 on your health die, then your health die becomes the next lowest health or the next lowest die type.
Okay.
So all of you should be starting with a
D10, I believe.
10. Mm-hmm.
Correct. Okay, so I'm gonna roll a D10, and I got I got a 1. What does that mean again? Is that
okay. So your next roll will be a D8. Your health is now at a D8.
Ooh, something happens bad. That's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so you got one more roll to make, or you can opt to have that second threat point go to the ship.
I wanted to. Okay. And if I roll my D8 and I get a 1, it goes down again, right? A 1 or a 2?
Correct. A 1 or a 2. Mm-hmm.
Math is on my side.
All right.
Here I go. What is it? Oh shit. Woohoo! It's a 3.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this volley of cannon fire goes off. A lot of it is absorbed by the iron-like hull of the Dwight's oops that Bastion has skillfully kind of pivoted in place, kind of mostly in line with their barrage. However, one of the cannons happened to fire a chain shot style ammunition. These two kind of iron balls connected by this chain come out and spiral, and it cuts into the mast that Jenny was just leaping from. And so as you are kind of leaping from one ship to the other, this mast has started to fall, and you realize that when you go to jump, that the gap has suddenly become bigger than you were hoping. And even though you're still not discovered because of how well you rolled, you managed to basically like land right on like your solar plexus, kind of on the yard arm of the other ship.
I'm like the hang in there baby poster.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
I'm just like trying to get purchase, but I'm struggling. Oh
All
my
right.
god.
So that is we also need the mutineers and the boarders to go. All right, so you turn around and you see that this fight has already kind of erupted on your ship before many of the boarders from the other ship have even managed to make it across. We've got a threat of 3 from the mutineers and the boarders coming in. Does anybody want to try to defend? Okay, perfect. How are you going to try?
Sorry, Peg. If you want to go, Pegless Pete, you can go.
Oh, I totally want to go.
You both can.
Ooh, both can. Nice.
What's the other threat?
The cannon fire that just happened, and then the mutineers and the boarders. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, okay. Maybe we'll go together.
Okay.
Excellent. So yeah, just describe basically how your character's approaching that, and then we'll be able to combine any successes that you might get on your rolls towards that threat.
Oh no, you don't, you mangy curs! And out pops this like bloody cleaver, and Pete's getting right up in their faces.
Nice. Nice.
Atherton walks behind Pete, and you might think he's going to draw some sort of like long, like fencing or dueling sword, but he actually just draws like a pretty nice chef knife, and he holds it in one hand, one little hand, and then pulls another one, like a meat cleaver from the other, and he says, pork, 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 and will step forward. And he is a dashing swashbuckler. He's good at fighting, so we'll see how it goes.
And apparently he's now the Swedish chef. Thank you for your donations to Call to Adventure.
Yes, thank you so much. I love all of you. Okay, so it sounds to me like maybe Pete is going with intimidation. Okay, cool. Read that right. And then Atherton, this sounds like perhaps
Flair is my hope.
Flair, yeah.
Because he fights like
chef. And
And he has a scarf.
Like
He has the scarf.
exactly.
he's got really long arms for some reason.
Actual people hands.
Yeah. Right, like this is the point where we realize the whole thing has been puppets and the whole way through, and now we realize that Atherton is the only one with human hands.
This is Muppet Treasure
Absolutely.
Island. Let's be real.
Come on, lads, it's my only number. Let's see. So I think intimidation from Pete. You are the cook, but what is your style again?
Well, I'm salty.
Salty.
Nice.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that's right. You've described him as he's seen a few things. He's been around for a while.
Yep.
I definitely think that that's probably 2 dice. And then Atherton, you have described him with everything that he has done so far with a great amount of flair.
He's
so
also
I
a
think
dashing swashbuckler, which I think both sort of
also true.
Dashing.
So yeah, I think you would probably be rolling with 3 dice here.
awesome. Really good work.
2 successes. from Pete.
Oh,
Ooh, nice. Okay.
So if I have super high flair, I'm trying to roll under, right?
Let's see. Flair is on
Yes.
the right. So yes, you
Yes.
want underneath.
Okay, great. 3 successes.
holy
Okay,
God.
cool.
He's all flair. That's all he's got.
All right. So it was a threat of 3. You guys had a total of 5 successes, which means that you're going to negate the threat of it this round. So you have basically pushed the mutineers and the borders kind of back and gained a little bit of progression. But because you were 2 successes over the threat level, I'm also going to now roll against like the objective to see if they diminish in this.
Nice.
Okay. The first roll was an 8. The second was a 5. Okay. So they are still at their full strength, so to speak. They are still convinced that they're going to win this.
We see it from the side of the ship, like the gunwale is here and Atherton is like above it, almost like it's a chef station. He's just, and there's like dudes flying in different directions and like a turtle appears and like a chicken in this direction, and it's it's chaos.
Lettuce and like all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. You
Yeah,
know?
somehow.
Amazing.
Swedish buckler.
Swedish.
Well, you're Swedish.
You raided my kitchen.
Oh my
Pork.
god. This is incredible. Okay.
Amazing.
Let's see. All right, so that is the threats done. So now Atherton and Pete, you get to take your turns in whichever order that you see fit.
I am going to continue to go after the mutineers, trying to, at this point, push them off the ship, make them back up and fall. Let the jellyfish get them.
All
Ooh,
right.
nice.
So
way
you
to
could
go.
probably go with the same roll if you'd like. Let's see. This would certainly still possibly fall under intimidation. Could also fall under force or control, trying to control where they're going. What do you think?
I think I'd like to try with force this time. So maybe
Okay.
I've got I don't know, I've grabbed one of the barrels that are around and I'm literally rolling them and pushing them off the ship with it.
Perfect. Okay, so
Nice.
let's go. That certainly sounds like a salty thing to do.
I'm good with
I still think
barrels.
this is
I'm
probably-
a cook.
Well, that's fair. That is very fair. All right. Yeah, this unconventional method, I think, would certainly fall under the purview of a cook. So, okay, let's do it 3 dice.
All right. My number is 8. And I rolled a 9, a 4, and a 1. So 2 successes.
Okay, so 2 successes, which means that I have to roll against their die. 1 and 2. That's a 2. Okay, so it downgrades. So you're rolling this barrel kind of across the deck, and a couple of people are getting slammed into by this barrel, and the choice is to either get, crushed by this barrel, fall on, someone's sword, or go overboard. And several of them pitch over the side of the gunwale into the water, and within moments you can hear them screaming in agony as they have landed in this shoal of jellyfish.
To say, jellies, men are back on the menu.
Yay! Awesome. Awesome.
Excellent. Okay, and Atherton.
So I imagine he's back to back with Pegless Pete, and they're like fighting off the mutineers, and he sees the other ship like right there, and he sees a chance to be dashing and swashbucklery and dramatic. So he'll turn to Pegless Pete and he'll, like in the chaos, like put his hand on Pegless Pete's cheek and say, "Bully, gully, gully, bork, bork." And then he'll run and like leap and try and jump between the two ships to land on the enemy ship.
Wow.
And start causing chaos over there. He's trying to do a Sea of Thieves and drop their anchor while they're going. That's what he's trying to do.
Okay. Certainly sounds like Flair would still qualify for this if you wanted to go that route.
Yep, 100%.
All right. And again, this definitely sounds like you're buckling swashes. So
Gotta buckle them.
Tightly.
So
Yeah,
So I think
make
this
sure
is
you got your
definitely-
swashes buckled, folks.
buckle your squashes, baby.
Right.
Swedish
I think
ear
this
buckles.
is definitely a 2. Okay. I think a 3 dice. I think that would work.
All right, let's rock and roll. Okay, 3. I got an 8, 1, and a 2.
Okay. You have a 9.
9 Flair, yeah.
Beautiful. All right. So you are applying this to you want to apply this to the cannon fire or
I think so,
the
yeah.
enemy ship itself? Cannon fire? All
Yeah,
right.
I think because if they stop suddenly, then they won't be able to angle the cannons or whatever.
Sure. All right. So we're gonna roll this up, see how this goes. 1, that's 2. That's 3. Ooh, okay. So you have landed on the other deck and are kind of carving your way through some of the borders that were waiting to kind of come over to your ship. And you're definitely beginning this kind of spiraling chaos. However, it seems like the cannons may still be online.
Wow.
Damn, resilient cannons.
Indeed, indeed. Okay. So that would bring us to the end of the round. So once again, everybody roll a d10. Figure out the order for this round.
Ugh. Of course.
5,
9.
8, 9.
8.
Okay. 8. Okay. Unfortunately, they are going to get to go before everyone on your side.
Ah.
So, this time, I think they are going to retaliate with more cannon fire and a musket volley. So we're going to handle the musket volley first. This is a threat of 2 that is incoming. Does anybody want to volunteer to try to handle that? You? Okay. Kaeryn?
Yay.
ahead.
Karen's like, where's my hand in the frame? me.
So out of nowhere, Pete has pulled out 2 really big fry pans,
Oh my god.
and we're going to use that to like block.
Stop the bullets.
Yes. Ping, ping, boom, like Wonder Woman.
Swedish Chef Apprentice. It's so perfect.
Mentor.
Mentor. 100%.
Absolutely. Mm,
Wow.
okay.
Awesome.
So this certainly would fall under flair. I would see an argument for that. Perhaps speed, trying to catch bullets out of the air with frying pans. Possibly an argument for grace.
I'm going for flair because not only
Flair,
are we trying to
okay.
block all these, but you've never seen Pete move so fast on those beautiful legs of his.
Those gams.
Beautiful. Gorgeous.
Wonderful. Okay. So this definitely falls under the purview of a cook, I would say. So you're definitely prepared with your 2 frying pans. You know what? This is a pretty piratey, salty thing. So I think 3
Very
dice
salty.
in this situation
Okay.
are fine.
Like,
yeah.
Pete has definitely treated his cast iron pans, which does involve a good
Of
amount of
course.
salt and oil.
They're very
So
seasoned.
Exactly.
yeah. Very salty indeed.
My number is 8, and I rolled 2 6s and a 4. So 3 successes.
Okay, 3 successes against the musket volley. Let's see here. That is a threat of 2. So you're going to negate the threat of the musket volley itself, and you're 1 over. So I'm going to roll for that obstacle as well. Nope. Okay, it stands though. So while you manage to successfully kind of defend your crew against this incoming shot of musket fire, all of them are still ready to pose a threat. Okay. And then the cannon fire once again is coming in. Is there anybody that wants to try to handle some of that defensively?
No.
Atherton can try it from their ship, maybe. He can like run around and mess with the people shooting.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're starting with a threat of 4. That is what the cannon fire is still. So how are you going to try to stop this from damaging your ship and your shipmates?
Yeah, I think he's running around their sort of cannon line with the cleaver and the chef knife, and he's just like more the cannons themselves, like he's like cutting ropes and wires and stuff so that the cannons like wobble or move out of the place or whatever. And yeah, he's running around trying to cause chaos over there.
Perfect. All right. So let's see. Sounds like maybe speed.
Perfect. Yep. Let's rock and roll.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. Dashing. Definitely dashing.
Dashing.
I think this is probably 2 dice.
Okay. Perfect.
Nice.
Nice. It's 2 successes. I have a 2 speed.
All right. 2 successes against the threat of 4. Okay, so that's going to again take it from a threat of 4 down to a threat of 2. That means that there is 2 incoming threat. Does anybody have a particular way that they want to kind of divvy that out? They want to take it a personal challenge or the ship?
Incoming threat.
Oh my god.
What the hell?
I did not understand you.
What happened?
My bad. I hit the button for my voice mod. Sorry about that.
I was like,
Oh, that
he's
was
he's
just the
clearly in the
nightmares,
water.
But it's
One of the
fine,
parents from Peanuts.
I was asking what were they trying to do to harm us?
They're shooting the ship. Cannons.
Yep,
and
with the
shit.
cannons.
Well, let's shoot bigger. I just want to fight fire with fire. I'm going to have our crew gunners. You're going to hear some bass go into Bastion's voice. Gunners, fire!
Yes!
Perfection. All right.
The captain needs to die. Thematically, Bastion needs to be the captain.
Let's see.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
I love it. All right. So this could be force. This could be control, possibly.
No, more force.
What are you thinking?
Why not?
Force? Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's see. Again, officer, you're giving orders directly to the crew of the guns to fire. So that absolutely falls underneath, something that your character would be used to doing. What was your style again? Steely? Perfect. You're in the fray of cannonballs and muskets flying everywhere. This is your element, I think. So I think 3 dice in this situation.
Okay. Ooh, that's going to be 3 successes.
Wow, nice.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah,
So
the 7 I have. So yeah.
All right. So that's 3 successes. All right. We've got okay. So you manage to avoid the worst of this that is coming in. They are preparing for this volley, and Atherton is kind of running through, kind of cutting at the ropes and things of that nature, trying to loosen the moorings on some of these. And in the meantime, you are kind of trying to give your gunners a better position of their own to open fire. And then you give the order at just the right moment. And there's this massive sound as the entire starboard side of your ship just lights up with fire and smoke. So we have got 3 going at the enemy ship itself, I think is what we're going to call that. Okay. Ooh, excellent. Okay, so you have definitely put some holes in the holes in the side of this ship. and its die is going to degrade 1 step. All right. So that is the threat of the enemies out of the way. So now the 4 of you can determine in whatever order that you wish that you're going to take your turn.
I need to go first because Gary donated to get me to do a different accent, and he has been waiting very
sure,
patiently.
Absolutely.
So Jenny is still like kind of like dangling, trying to gain purchase on this like cross rigging, and she just can't. I want to do that thing. Can I do that thing that they do in pirate movies where I put like a dagger in the sail and go down, please?
Yes, absolutely.
And Jenny does it very gracefully. And as she's doing it, she's like, well, I need a miracle. And then she just like goes, and then you would swear you hear her go, as she's like flying down, and you think you maybe see like a flock of seagulls like around her, aiding her efforts, maybe one macaw. And then she goes like thunk down on the deck, and she's like, I'm here. Can I help anybody with anything? Atherton, what are you up to? And the accent Gary chose was Disney princess.
This is amazing.
So she is ready to help, and she's got like a dagger out, and she does have like a little tiny like swish sword like needle, and she does just kind of see what Atherton's doing, just messing with the cannons, and she would start to try to like turn one towards like the deck of the ship. She wants to fire a cannonball right into the frickin' captain's quarters.
Okay. So
not
this
right
definitely...
now, but I'm just saying this is the plan.
Right.
This is the vision. This is the vision board.
Okay, so do you want to apply your action to the enemy ship then?
Yeah, that would make sense. Is that okay? Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So this definitely sounds like it could be force. Perhaps
sure
flare.
Could.
Possibly even control.
I think flare would probably make more sense. Just because of the way she entered the fray. I think
very true. Good point.
She is rigging rat, so I would imagine maybe 2 die on this one.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And I actually got another bonus from somebody, so I would like to do another bonus. It was from way back when. So, alrighty, here I go. 3, and hopefully, so what did I say? Flare. Okay. Oh God, fingers crossed. So I am trying to roll under on this one.
Yes, correct.
Oh my God, 3 successes. Holy cow.
Oh, cool. Okay. So
my score is a 5. I got a 4, a 4, and a 3. That's mathematically unlikely. Wow.
All right. So I'm going to roll this 3 times.
Whew.
See how it fares. Okay. There's what we're looking for. Okay. So yeah, one of these cannons, perhaps that Atherton has like cut loose, by coming through and slashing these ropes. The ship is kind of like listed a little bit from that volley of fire from your ship, and has kind of like caused this cannon to kind of roll somewhat away from the porthole on the side. And you managed to basically just grab a hold of one of its ropes and lean enough to kind of cause it to kind of turn backwards and kind of reach over and grab the pole. I don't know what it's called, the match or whatever, and kind of light this fuse as several of the crew that are kind of getting ready to board your ship or trying to reload cannons, turn and look and kind of part ways as we see a clear line of sight kind of back to the captain's quarters. And there's this boom, and the thing fires back through the captain. You can see open air and sea kind of through the multiple holes that it has now caused. Yeah, and that cannon has like shot backwards, like no longer being tied in place, kind of towards the front of the ship, causing all kinds of chaos and mayhem.
Amazing.
Okay, who's next?
Is it me?
Atherton can go. You go.
We both rolled 8s. Go for it, Atherton. You're already on the ship. Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So Atherton is out for revenge. That's what he wants. He wants to get revenge. And so I think maybe the captain of the Flying Danishman is like some Danish
Sure.
noble who crossed him a long time ago. Or maybe that's the reason that Atherton's been exiled or whatever. And when there's like a, he like sees maybe a glimpse of the captain in the distance, and he's going to go over and try and duel him in the most dramatic way possible. So maybe he'll like start running and like swing from a rope like across like the low part of the ship, and then like land with like both of his heels like clicking on the ship, and pull out the cleaver and the knife. And he'll like point one at him and say, "Will you have a revenge? Work."
I heard revenge.
And he's going to try and take him down as best I can.
Amazing.
This captain steps out of his quarters and he looks almost exactly like Atherton. He's just, like the Danish version of him. He comes out, he also has these high-heeled boots on. Maybe they're made of wood, I don't know. And he kind of steps out and likewise goes, "Borsty burger," and kind of like raises his rapier in your direction.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
I picked a horrible time to take a drink. Oh my God.
Oh my God, this is so much fun.
God.
This
Okay.
is so much fun.
Yeah, so I think every time their blades clash, there's a pork.
Like lightsabers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Ooh, okay. Composure.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
It's very serious business.
I think,
get your act together.
Oh, okay.
Lion face, lemon face, lion face.
Yeah.
So this certainly sounds like Flair.
Yep.
So I think that and again, this is very swashbuckling, one-on-one duel amidst this chaos and battle that is unfolding. I definitely think this is at least two. You're both very dashing gentlemen, it sounds like. So I think definitely a 3 dice for this.
Does Get Revenge get me one? It's okay if it doesn't. I'm just chancing my arm.
You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. I hope
Okay.
that's PG-13 enough.
That
That wasn't what I was about to say.
Okay, let's see. We got.
You're about to use the one we have.
The one. The one.
Yeah. It's 3 successes. A 9.
Okay.
I got my number, so that's bad, right? I get a black spot or something.
So you get a black spot, which you can then give to someone at a future point.
And that takes away one of their dice?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right, yep, so 3 successes.
Okay. I think this will probably, do you think enemy ship or mutineers and boarders?
Maybe mutineers and boarders. Maybe he's about to come out and lead the incursion. Yeah.
Okay. You said 3 successes?
Yes.
All right, let's do this. 1, 2. Oh my God. Okay. So you and this captain are step for step with each other, clashing blades, boarding all over the place. And there is no clear victor yet. He is skilled and practiced just as Atherton. Wow. All right. So we've got Pegless Pete and Bastion still to go for the round.
Okay. Is there anyone still left on our ship?
Yes. Mm-hmm. There are still some boarders and mutineers.
Bastion is feeling a little confident now. And Bastion is literally going to snatch the wheel off the ship and then just start swinging it at people.
It's a bold move, Cotton. All right. I like it. Let's see.
Amazing. Amazing. This is wow.
Let's see. So again, this definitely sounds like force. I could even see an argument for flair. Intimidation would work. What are you feeling here?
Let's go with intimidation. I'm trying to be scary.
Intimidation. Okay, sure, absolutely. Steely. Okay, so I think this is probably a 2 dice. I don't think that fighting with the ship's wheel in your hands is something that you've done very often.
No. But
So I think
it looks like I have an extra die. So I'm going to go ahead and use that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that'll give you 3 dice. To answer your question, Carrie, yes, if you want to use black spots, just call it out on your turn. Or if I'm going to make a roll, just say that you want to use one.
Okay.
Wow, that's 3.
Nice.
Excellent. Excellent. 3 successes against the mutineers and boarders. All right, let's see.
He doesn't like to use his strength, but I put a 9 on the forced charm thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's very charming. So I'm like, well.
I would like to use my black spot on the mutineers. Can I do it now?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
All
using
right.
my black spot.
All right, so I'm gonna treat that as having to roll an extra time in this situation. Okay, so Bastion, if you would please describe to me how you alleviate the rest of the threat from the mutineers and the boarders.
So Bastion is tired of this at this point. There's a look of exhaustion. This is not like a Hulk rage. This is more like, get off my ship, please. Please get off the ship. Please, I want to go home. And he's just swinging this big wheel around. And there's a 7-foot tall man who's like 450 pounds. Just, please leave, please.
I'm so sorry. Like 5 people go
Every time he
overboard.
hits one, he's like,
Hit
sorry.
your head. Oh, sorry. I put you in my novel.
Oh my God, this is perfect.
We'll have to sign an NDA, of course, but amazing.
Wonderful. Okay. And then Pete, you're the last one for the round. We still have cannon fire, the enemy ship, and musket volley that are still kind of objectives that are facing you.
Well, I'll continue with the musket volley with my pans. Maybe trying to, with great flair and experience, direct it back upon the other ship.
Nice.
Nice.
You're gonna shoot it back at them.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Is
Was
what
that a
he's
beaker?
saying the entire time.
Fun fact, Kaeryn is speaking like Beaker from the Muppets. It's kind of picking up on your mic, but it is at a range that is tough to pick up.
It's too high. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually literally not picking up.
Okay. You're gonna have to bring it down to a Swedish chef register. There you go. We got a little bit.
That's hilarious. It's too high for the mic.
Amazing.
That's
Take
so
that,
funny.
Jim Henson.
The mic's like, no,
No.
don't do this. No.
This is where I draw the
Karen's out
line.
here giving her Oscar performance and the mic won't pick it up.
Nailing it, crushing it every day.
Oh my God. That's amazing. Okay, so as you are meeping all over the place with your frying pans, I heard the word flare, so it sounds like that's definitely what you were going for. So you're trying to angle these back at them. Certainly seems like a salty thing to do.
100%.
All right, and again, I mean, frying pans. So okay, 3 dice. Oh, I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna use my black spot that I have on you, Kaeryn.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's gonna-
Well,
I'm going to use my black spot on you.
Prince!
Dang.
I'm going to
Welcome
use
to
mine
the
too.
group.
Let's all do it. We all got one.
Yes. Wow. So that's almost like, Jeremy, like you lose.
All for one and one for all.
Thanks, Carrie.
Sorry. Scoreboard.
we don't cross our swords over each other. It's just a giant wheel.
Yeah.
Wheel in a frying pan. And then...
Yeah. Chef
And
knife.
my frying pan.
A seagull.
It sparkles.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like, what do we got? We got black spots being thrown all over the place. So let's see. So it's a 2 dice, I think, for you, Kaeryn. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think if it wanted to make it simple, you could cancel yours out with either Prince or
that'd
Lloyd,
work.
and then just have Lloyd's count against the mutineers or against somebody.
Yeah, that'll work. I'll keep his in mind whenever I go to roll.
Do some teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then that puts you back at 3 dice, then, Kaeryn.
Okay, then I got a 1, a 4, and an 8. And 8 is my flair, so I have 2 success and 1
and a black spot that you earned.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And you are applying this at the musket volley. They are currently a D6 threat. So, no, okay. Oh, and then 1 extra for the black spot that was put on them. Oh, hey, okay. So the black spot made the difference in this case. And some of the musketeers have been thinned out a bit. All right. Tremendous. All right. That was the last of everybody for the round. So we're going to roll D10s again to determine initiative order for this round. Round
Let's
number
go.
3. Ooh, okay. A 5.
Oh, I guess that's a 10, not a 0. 10.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay.
I have a
and a 10.
1.
A 1.
Is it like
okay.
an ace? Can it be low or high? Question
No, that would be nice.
Yeah.
And then what did you have? Okay, there we go. Okay, so everyone except for Jenny this round is going to get the chance to go before the enemies.
Nice.
So again, whatever order that the 3 of you wish to take those turns in.
I should probably go late in the order here. I'm just saying.
All right, Athen will continue the duel with the Danish chef. I guess they're like moving back and forth, like in front of the captain's cabin, like ha ha ha, and then like bork bork bork, and then bork bork bork, like back and forth, moving this way and that, and yeah, I think he's just trying to take him down. He's going to try some sort of like devious move that he's learned since he was a pirate. So he'll throw some sand in his face or something like that.
There you go.
Which the Danish chef would never expect because he's quite proper, hopefully. All right.
Let's see here.
Oh no, that's going to be subtlety, isn't it? I've made a huge mistake.
Maybe.
What about
a little underhanded?
Could we argue speed? For reaching into a pocket and pulling some glass shards?
Some pocket sand.
Yeah,
Pocket sand.
Yeah. Just like some lint.
I carry some with me just for such an occasion.
Exactly.
This is my eye sand. Here you go. All right, perfect. Yeah, I think speed works. You're definitely trying to be kind of fast, faster than he can react.
Yep. It's probably not so dashing, but it is swashbucklery.
No, not dashing. I would say it is swashbucklery. So I think this is a 2 dice situation.
Perfect. Let's go. It's 2 10s. I have absolutely. Oh wait, that's good in this case. I have high speed. I have 2, so 10 is good.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, you're trying to get over.
That's
Awesome.
the best.
Yeah,
Okay,
so he
it's 2 successes.
reaches in. He's like got the cleaver in one hand and the chef knife in the other. He like puts the chef knife in his teeth, and does like some fancy cleaver action, and then like his weird human hand, the only human hands on the, reaches into a pocket, and it looks like he's gonna pull out another knife, like a third knife, but then it's just like some sand, and he says, "Go to sand," and then hopefully get it into his eyes, and get some advantage there.
Amazing.
Let's see if you can get it past his bushy eyebrows that come down to his
That's
nose.
a good question.
He's got built-in
What eyes?
protection. Yeah.
What eyes?
Perfect. All right. Do you want to roll this against enemy ship?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. 2 successes coming. Okay, the first one out of the gate is a 1. So that's going to roll it down from a D8 down to a D6. And the second roll is another 1. Okay. So
Hey, I have a black spot. Can I get that away too?
sure. Yep, absolutely.
Let's do it.
So this last
Will you
roll
be
will
Kaeryn?
be D4. And that's a 2. Okay. All right. Wow.
Such terrible
So-
luck. Yeah.
So, Lloyd, describe for me how this epic duel between Scandinavian chefs somehow ends up leading to the devastation of the HMS Flying Danishman, so much so that the ship is now starting to sink.
So they're pushing each other back and forth with their borks until finally they push into the captain's quarters, and we see it's like really huge for some reason, and one side is just wall-to-wall chickens, like in little cages. And he keeps pushing and pushing, and he's trying to rub the sand out of his non-existent eyes until finally, with a triumphant "Burk," he pushes him into the chicken cages, and chicken all over the place. Suddenly, they're like flying all over the place, like into cannons, like under people's feet, like all over the deck. And there's just chaos erupts.
Amazing.
Wonderful. Gonzo is running somewhere looking for Camilla.
His darling
Lost
wife.
amongst all of this. Yeah.
No.
Perfect.
Oh.
Okay, so at this moment when chaos just absolutely erupts on board the Flying Danishman, it's clear that you have this battle well in hand and that you have likely won the day, when all of a sudden you hear both of the ships groan.
Ooh.
And they lean apart from one another,
Uh-oh.
pitching violently on the sea. All of a sudden, the area in the water all around you where these jellyfish are begins to become turbulent. There's large swells that are rising up from the depths and then kind of like splashing into small waves that are starting to slam against the hull of both of these ships. The Flying Danishman is very quickly starting to fill with this water that is slapping against the outside of its hull. What do you want to do?
Who are you asking? All of us?
All of you.
Okay, so do they get a turn before I can go, or are they gone?
No, they are fairly well dealt with. The
Okay.
ones who are who realize it are now trying to scramble to get on board your ship. They are perfectly fine at this point with even being taken as captives, because they've realized the fight is done.
Okay. I would call over to Atherton. I'm like, Atherton, I think it's time to make our departure. And I would like make a running like jump. So I imagine this is kind of like the two ships are listing like sideways. So I want to like run and do like I just want to try to freaking jump it. I want to try to jump the gap, like parkour, like up the ramp kind of.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see.
Also, Jake just told us that the accents only last for 5 minutes, but I am committed. So this is who I am. This is who I am now.
Give the people their money's worth.
I've chosen my path. Okay. So this
All right.
is probably
Could be Grace.
again.
Could be speed.
I am fine.
If you're flying from ropes, it could be flare.
I'll go with Grace because I kind of want to like go like hut like off like one step on a cannon, one step on the rail, and then launch. So it is going to take a good amount of footwork still. So is that two die?
Let's see here. You're a rigging rat, so I definitely think that this is kind of within your general experience, without a doubt.
And I'm sly.
I don't know that this is very sly.
No, it's not very sly. It's
so
just escaping.
I think 2 dice. Yeah.
Okay. Oof, that's 1 fail and 1 success.
Okay, so you're gonna do it with the cost. All right. Okay. Roll your health die for me.
Oh geez. Oh geez. Okay. That's a success.
Okay. So you leap across, and again, these ships pitching apart, that gap grows wider as you kind of make that committed jump.
Oh my god.
And
I'm full
you
on
reach
Mufasa,
out and,
y'all.
right? You grab a hold of the gunwale kind of with your fingertips, basically, as the ship luckily is listing away from you, kind of giving you enough gravity to kind of hold you against the outside of the hull. But it immediately starts to pitch back the other direction, and you realize you don't have a firm enough hold, and that if you don't do something about it fast, it's probably, when it rights itself, it's either going to slam you into the other ship or you're going to fall into the water.
I'm gonna get squished. So is my turn done? Or can Bastion help me? Bastion wants to help me.
Your turn's done.
I do. So I think Bastion, being the person that he is, after he's yeeted a bunch of people off the water, now he feels bad. And like these people are trying to save themselves. He's like, come, I don't want you to sink. Don't die. Then he sees Jenny and he's like, ah! And just goes running over. And he's gonna try to grab her and make sure she gets pulled up. Like,
perfect. All right. So speed, perhaps. Maybe force again, because you're using basically just kind of raw strength to pull her up.
I would definitely go with force over speed.
Sure, that works.
All right.
An officer. I think you're probably, used to having to put your life on the line for, the crew who serve you. So I think 2 dice would work in this situation. You're also what? Oh, you're steely also. No, this is definitely a steely situation. I think 3 dice.
All right. So what? This is oh yeah, 7. Okay. Come on. So 2 successes.
Nice.
Excellent. 2 successes. Okay, so you managed to do it and do it well. So you run over where you're kind of helping these people kind of clamoring from the sinking ship, and you are basically right there on that side of the ship when you see Jenny kind of make this jump. Kind of, her flying through the air kind of gets your attention. You turn and look up and see that she barely manages to catch the side of the ship as it's listing. You run over, kind of reach down and grab a hold of, I don't know, maybe like the scruff of her shirt on her back or something.
Yeah,
grab her
100%.
wrist and pull her up onto the actual deck before the ship kind of rights itself and kind of lists the other direction.
Thank you.
Well, I didn't think I could let you drop into the water twice without being able to help you.
Jenny would hug Bastion as best as she can. She can barely get her little arms around him, but like is just like immediately just buries her face in his belly and is just like hugging him and doesn't say much more.
There's still people who are probably drowning right now, and I may have made the order to shoot them, so I feel conflicted right now.
You would just hear Jenny kind of muffled by his belly. You did so well. I'm so proud of you.
That's my turn.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Atherton, you're still on board the other vessel. Pete, you're still on this side of the ship. If you want to, either one of you want to try to do anything.
Atherton can go first.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been a couple of key moments since Jenny made the jump, and maybe they're a little bit further apart now, the ships. And he sees only one solution. He thunks the cleaver and the knife down into the deck, and then he runs with his hands out and he grabs as many chickens as he can. As many as he can get his hands on. He's going to try and use them to make some sort of jump across the gap here.
You can try to get them to
God,
fly you
it's like
across.
Yeah,
it's like up.
Exactly. He's got 2 big handfuls of chickens and he's going for it. Come here, chickie, work. As he rushes around grabbing them and gathering them, and he's going to go for it.
This is incredible.
This
Absolutely.
has to work. This has to
I mean, if I've ever heard an action in the expedition engine fall under the flare category, I think this is probably up there.
100%.
Both thematic.
Not particularly dashing, I don't think, but definitely swashbucklery.
Okay, yep.
So I think this is a 2 dice situation.
All right, let's do it. Whoopam. 2 8s. That is good for Flair.
Okay,
2 successes.
excellent.
Wow.
So you find yourself on like the aft castle or something where you kind of grab these 2 handfuls of chickens by the feet. You get yourself a little bit of height on this vessel that's kind of slowly starting to, kind of bubble with water as it's filling up. You take a run and you jump and you like come off the side of the ship and we see you disappear. And then all of a sudden, like whoosh.
Yeah, there's like a musical sting, like a da-da-da, and his scarf is blowing in the wind as he like rises back up.
It's like that scene in a Goofy movie where they go down, but then they go woo, like that.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yep. One of the chickens even has a little scarf.
yeah.
And you come flying up and you drop, kind of your 3-point landing like on the side of the deck. However, unfortunately, on your clean shoes, there is one small little evidence of your flight.
Oh no.
He almost drops "Let's Go" of the chickens in the moment, but he decides he'll clean it later.
Wow.
Excellent. As the fighting starts to wind down, this tumultuous upset of the ocean all around you continues. Very soon, you see a mountainous rock that is now emerging from the depths of the water, and realize as you stare in disbelief and as your ship kind of rocks and pitches back and forth through this chaos, that this mountainside is covered with trees and plant life that are growing on its slopes. And after several long moments, as your ship slowly kind of moves further and further out and away, you realize that Imbricata has been found, and it is a giant sea turtle. And that is where we're going to end our game.
Wow.
So,
amazing.
This was fantastic, you guys. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
for going
Wow,
along
well
with this
done.
goofy ride.
Well done, everybody.
Yeah, this was fantastic. I'm going to pass things back over to all of you as players, so you can, again, kind of touch on where people might be able to find you on the internet. Give any kind of parting words that you might before we call it a day. So we'll start in reverse order with Prince.
Oh, hey, I'm Prince, also known as DimplesNDice, around the internet, Twitch, Instagram, all the socials. That's where you can find me. Normally, I'm here on Sundays doing my D&D campaign, Wayward Revelry. It is a Why Beyond the Witchlight campaign with my own little twists and turns added to it. On Tuesday nights, well, this is the last Tuesday night, but on Tuesday night, you can see the finale of my Red Wall themed D&D game, Eulalia, that is over on the Amphitheater. Duval King Jacob runs that. It has been a fantastic romp over there, and I am very excited to see where our series ends. As I said earlier, I'm in Vampire the Masquerade Philly by Night over on my sister station, Rolling These 20s. This is our last season of that show. It has been dramatic. There's been tears. There's been horror. If you like horror TTRPG games, that might be the place to be. Oh yeah, and one more game that I'm in. I'm doing Hunter the Reckoning over on Table Goth. The new book just came out, so we've been doing that. That is on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. And there's a bunch of other stuff. Follow me on Twitter. You'll see what else I'm up to.
That's absolutely amazing. That's a lot of gaming, and
It is.
I can see why, man. Like, you're an incredible player, and I'm very thankful that you joined us for this silly little goofy game today. So thanks.
So much fun.
Good. I'm very happy to hear that. All right. Speaking of so much fun, Cari.
I am Cari. You can find me on Monday nights. I'm on Mini Terrain Domain. We play Candlekeep Mysteries, Scribes and Scrolls. It is always a good time. Once or twice a month, you can find me on another channel called Dice Tales Live. We play over there, just kind of our own little thing, which is awesome. We actually play in person and then upload our streams to Twitch, which is kind of cool and unique. And then once in a while, you can find me on Big Bearded Nerd doing some stuff. So that'll be a good time. And I got one more quick big hand for Prince. Welcome to MTD. This was awesome. I'm so happy you were here. This was terrific. And Jeremy as well. Thank you.
Pleasure
so
playing
much.
with y'all for sure.
My other two crewmates. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely, Cari. Whenever you were announced as being a part of the game that made me really, really happy. I hadn't played with you until very recently, whenever we played in the Firefly mini campaign. So, and it was an absolute joy. So, yeah, today was no exception. So thank you for coming along for the great ride. All right, next up we have Kaeryn.
Hello, everyone. Kaeryn, also known as MythNGears on the socials. I just want to say this was an amazing game. It was so much fun. I don't think I've laughed so hard for such a very long time. Thank you, players. You were amazing to play with. It's like we've been playing forever, even though we just kind of made up this game today. So it was amazing. Thank you, Jeremy. And then I want to thank the chat for just bringing it and making us do such wacky things. It was so much fun. And the last thing I have to say is meep.
Yeah, and it picked up. Congratulations.
We got one.
We got that one. Well, exactly one meep. No, that was incredible.
That's all you need.
Yeah, and obviously, Kaeryn, I get the chance to play with you all the time, which I'm very, very thankful for. You're a player in both of my ongoing campaigns at the moment online. So I'm very fortunate in that fact. So thank you very much for coming along and being a pirate with us today. Swinging those pans. All right. Last but certainly not least, we have Lloyd.
Yeah, that was great. It was very funny. I laughed my ass off. I really struggled to keep it together, which is always a sign of a good game, I think. And yeah, that was super fun. Thanks to all the chat. I did 3 different accents, I think, throughout that game, and we all sort of got a couple of them in, which is great. And we raised like a lot of money, and we're over $4,000 now, which is pretty great. Yeah, stay here. In a second, Jake and Dwight are going to come on and do a little closing. And thank you so much for running it, Jeremy. It was great.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure, Lloyd. Thank you. Yeah. And again, Lloyd, thank you very much for coming in. Whenever, again, like I saw that your name was going to be a player in the game, that made me very happy as well. Running games for people that I don't know is always a little bit of a nerve-wracking experience, you know, especially for something like this. But Prince, like, you were an absolute teddy bear, and it was a fantastic opportunity, so thank you. But having the chance to run my friends, the people that I have played with before, through a game like this is a lot of a relief for me, for running a game like this in front of a larger audience than I'm used to. So yeah, thank you all for being there as my shore. Everybody, this was an incredible time. Thank you so very much for allowing me to be a part of this fantastic journey as we raise money for this charity Game to Grow. I can't think of a better thing to get to do. The fact that I get to do this stupid, silly game with people and laugh my butt off and do it where people will pay money to a charity to watch us do it. Like, I can't think of a better exchange. So I'm super stoked. I'm going to pass things over to the crew that's running the show, and they can take over whenever they're ready. But until next time, may your dice roll high and your snacks always be within reach.